Oh, greetings and salutations. I hope you're all well. I'm just doing a sound check. Well, apparently we're going live now. Yeah, so the sound works, even better. So shut that down. Gosh, done. So yeah, happy Saturdays, and welcome to Saturday Night Reaver. We've got a Reaver Titan to be working on, the one we built the other day, and been painting on occasions during the week, and yeah, just doing little bits and pieces here. The melted cannon, I want to. Normally I'd go with hazard stripes, but that will probably be too much, like yellow and stuff. So I'm just going to go repeated washes and really darken that down so it's proper sort of lived-in lookage. That's the plan. We will be attending to a few other bits and pieces, like some of the stippling hasn't really, it's not really jumping out at me as much as previous ones, so I'll probably do a little bit of darker tone and then lighter tone with that, and we will hopefully get on to doing some decals as well, so they can come off because that's going to be attended to as well. But yeah, so that's what we are playing about with today. I hope you've had a good week so far, wherever you are and whatever you're doing. Cheers. Right, let's move that over there so I don't get that twatted. We might as well get going with. Let's actually do a mix. So there was a little bit of what was left of Agrax. Booba shaker, first of the evening. So we're going to wash this repeatedly over the course of the evening. And then do like variations in what we're actually washing it with. So we want to get that colour sorted out first with the sort of Agrax and Nuln mix. Hair dry treatment. going to build on that, layer upon layer. Some more hairdryer. So this will be the last application. So you can see from where it started off 5 minutes ago, it is totally looking different. More sort of the use of it, the heat generated, it's got this colour, you know, carbon sooting up and everything like that sort of thing. So that's what you want to do. So instead of doing a normal sort of like, as I said, hazard stripes, because you've got an abundance of yellow here anyway, I didn't want to go with that, so that's why I'm going with this method to sort of just dirty up that sort of the heat cage of the actual melter cannon itself. Sugar. I'm trying to be a little bit subtle with this part. This is speeding through because I want it to sort of intermingle a little bit more. So Dragonhof. So doing it whilst it's still sort of drying allows for the sort of movement of colour, so it sort of blends better in general. And give that a blow. So you can see a bit of the banding there. Seraphim. Seraphim Sepia works really well on lead pelture and most silvers to sort of give it that more sort of used, sort of heat abused effect. And you do that with like the barrels, not so much with the rear of the weapon, but definitely where the business end of things is. That's what you'd be after doing. Yeah. Right. Let's find. Right. Where's my dorm stand? There it is. I'm just trying to get a feel for the right kind of brush for this. I'm doing a bit of a stipple, but I need, that might actually do what I want it to do. And sometimes when you go a little bit too subtle, it has a detriment to the work. This is sort of reverse stipple because the base colour was the Dawnstone, and I probably have gone quite heavy on the Administratum grey. So we're sort of countering that by stippling with some Dawnstone to give it more motley look. So we can go and pick out, well, tidy up some of the little ricks. There's also a bit I actually missed. itchy. Right. With that. So just a little bit of like agrax in between the trim and the plates makes a huge difference there, how it actually looks. And it's just little things like that. It's very subtle, but they actually add so much more to the actual overall look. A little hint of shadow here and there, and gives it more depth and highlighting the actual Hey Toby, how are you, buddy? Nice of you to pop in and say hello. What are you up to? You got your hobby on at the moment, or just chilling. Add a little bit of Seraphim Sepia to the pistons. Like grease residue. Not bad. So I'll paint my Erebus kit bash, so I thought, join you. Well, it's a pleasure to have you here, mate. So, Erebus. You had to be doing Erebus, didn't you? God. Guy's a dick. That's a surprise, asshole. Apart from working on the absolute knobber of the Horus Heresy, what else you been up to? Most beloved man in 40k. 40k, 30k, everywhere in between. Dude's an arsehole. He's such a wrong'un. Him and like Cor Ferron gets off lightly. You know, he just sort of fades out of stuff. I don't even know if Cor Ferron gets outed oft. He literally just disappears. I mean, whether or not he dies off screen, maybe like Erebus has fucking done him in. Sacrificed him. It was Cor Ferron who basically pointed the way a bit, and Erebus just took it and ran. I thought, wait, look, we've got all these new toys to play with. Such a moustache twirler. But yeah, I know Erebus is still faffing about on that. But it's just like, I think the last time I remember Cor Ferron involved in anything was during Calf, when he had the little, you know, going up against a Primarch and wounding a Primarch and then sort of getting away with things. It's like, really? Although he was wounded, wasn't he? I believe. because obviously he's not. That's the thing. They were him and Erebus were both really brought over, so they weren't like normal Astartes. They were like conversions, so they weren't as big and tough and strong. But obviously the chaos enhanced them a bit, but still. Sneaky boys. More than that. Sneaky boys. You may be right. I know that Corferin was obviously, like Lorgar's dad as Neres, whilst on Corchis, during those religious days. But it was also him that said, hey, let's worship the old gods, those mysterious ones that we know about and you told us not to worship. They'll want us. Let's get around there. But as bad guys go, yeah, everybody hates Erebus, and because of what he does. They've got their own agenda. And Lorgar. That's why I think, obviously, like when you listen to certain audio books, like what's his face, Macarius, not Macarius, Malcador. I always remember him saying like he always has like a bit of sympathy. And you feel sorry for Lorgar. Just wanted to pray to someone. A little bit of hero worship. Mm. Lorgar was badly taken advantage of. Pretty much, yeah. So you can understand, you know, from where he was brought up from, you know, if there's a lot of ifs and buts. And I know that obviously the Emperor had these little ideas that he wanted there to be those rivalries amongst the sons, so when it came time to get rid of them, like he did with the Thunder Warriors, that they could be easily manipulated into doing it. That's making sure we get all these little rivety bits done. Get up the little ordinarily I should, well, should have been, I suppose, or would have been, could have been down on the south coast for Beachhead with the Titans Owners Club, but it was it's a long way to go, and I'm only there for the one day. A lot of driving, and to be honest, we're doing lots of driving as it is, so a little bit, yeah, tired at the best of times. See a lot of gear changes. So my Titan walk, or the next Titan walk I'll be at, would be at Salute in April. So what's that? Oh, you'll be at Salute as well. Cool. Well, we're in the same position as you were last year. So when you are down there, I'm not sure if Crystal and Rob are going. Did Frozen go last year? Was that like most you know, folk head on down from all corners of the hobbyverse. No, but I'll try and encourage him. You know, it's lots of the faces of the hobby are down there. So I've been going down there for 12, 15 years, something like that. A long time. Are you actually like I know like Chris or like Hendy's been on here a few times recently as well. I think like when I've been doing dystopian war stuff, but it was him who was saying about Chris doing the Trench Crusade. Is that something that you're doing as well, mate, or is that not your thing? Yeah, I bought all the Sultanate STLs, and Chris should be posting me a Warband Monday. Oh, that's cool. I've seen some of the like battle report stuff that some people gamers have been doing with it, and I think I really need to get look up the actual rules. I hear him doing all these things. Oh, he's going to do this. It's a difficult action. I was thinking, okay, well, what do you do for that? So, I don't know whether to put the eyes and lenses. Boom shaker. Actually, is that the right one? I think that's the one. I think I saw Cole last year as well. Don't remember him talking to us though. I'm going to put the set circles on. I was nervous about seeing him there, and my friend said he wasn't likely to be there due to his cat being sick, and he was like 10 people behind me in the queue. Yeah, let's say I've bumped into him wandering around, or it has been like back in the days when I didn't used to sort of make my own way in. I would occasionally bump into him in the queue. You know, it's quite weird. Like I always remember at school there was this one kid. For some reason, he really didn't like me, which I can't imagine why. You know, obviously I'm lovable. Um, but yeah, he really didn't like me. And then there was one night I was walking home. It was late at night. I used to work at Walthamstow Dogs, so I'd be there until like 11 o'clock. And then I was only like 16, and then I'd walk home from there, and I bumped into him and an old classmate as well. So classmate I'd known like since I think it was the fourth year junior. So he was a new kid in the class. Like I was a new kid in the year before, but obviously, I'd sort of semi-settled as a other new kid. Um, got on all right with him, and but he was with him at this time, and he was like a little hyena, like that, and this kid who didn't like me was like saying, "Oh yeah, this person told me this." And I said, "Well, it's bollocks. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't call you that. You know, I'm not that. I wouldn't go around calling you names and stuff like that." But it ended up like we're down a side alley and he's punched me, sort of thing, and like being all Billy Big Bollocks, and his mate or my former mate just like being, say, like say she speak crumb, you know, Jabba's little like like that sort of thing. So go forward a couple of years, and I've bumped into him at a nightclub. So I'd seen him, and I thought, oh, fucking hell, he's here. And I made a point of avoiding him as much as possible in this nightclub. And there was space to roam. There was like 2 floors and all that sort of stuff. There was the Enfield Palladium, it was called. And then I've just turned around and he's there. I'm like, oh, fuck. And he's gone, all right, Lee, how are you? Sort of thing. And like talking to me normal, like a normal person. I'm like going, what the actual fuck's going on here? It's like the fight or flight, and I'm like, what's going on? Why is he talking to me in a normal way? And he's like telling me about he'd been on holiday to Jerusalem and done this, done that, and like, you know, how are you doing? What are you up to? And all that sort of stuff. And I'm like, yeah, all right, yeah, I'm all right. I'm, you know, couple of mates and that, we're down here, you know, just having a laugh, and I'm like, oh yeah, cool, yeah, I know that, yeah, sort of thing. All right, mate, yeah, we'll take care of yourself. See you later. Off, and he's like, did that actually fucking happen? What the fuck? Yeah, weird. You know, it was I don't know if he was with anyone, but it was that night he was there, and he was sweet as anything, as if we was old buddies. Yeah, and when you're confronted like that, and you're standing there going, what the fuck's going on? Like similar with an old school bully who was all right with me in a pub. He's still an arsehole, but at least he apologized. Well, that's the thing, you know. Like this guy didn't apologise. He was just like, you know, we're older, we're in a different area, and he's just being cool, sort of thing. Not like being he, man, I'm cool, but just being like, you know, chilled and that sort of shit. But like with you, like with someone like where they've apologised, obviously they've recognised that they were a dick, sort of thing. Yes, they may still be an asshole, but at least he's now sort of like looking back, he's realised that yeah, I was bang out of order, and he's made, you know, he's made the gesture. So in some respect, that's actually pretty good. You know, so many people don't get that, especially from bullies, and that. So, but probably yeah, I didn't. There was, I say at my school there were there was a gang. I say loosely gang. They basically was a group of lads that all hung around together, all part of that clique, and they called themselves the ICF, the Inner Chingford Firm, based on the West Ham gang, the ICF, the Inner City Firm. So the Inner Chingford Firm, or we also knew them as the Guilty Gang, because you'd be like in the playground or in the grass areas around the school, whatever, doing whatever you're doing, hanging out with your mates and all that, and suddenly there'll be like a group of them, and they'll go guilty, and then they would chase down at you, sort of thing, like run at you, and then you'd go wah! And run, sort of, and they would chase you, catch you, and then give you a couple of digs or whatever. Not like, you know, it wasn't like, you know, brutal, right? But it was like sort of thing, like you get a bit of a knocking sort of thing. And that was that really. But it got to a level where I just thought, fuck it, I'm not running. And I stood my ground. They come running down. I stood, but then they went after the ones that ran. So I thought, yeah, West Ham. But yeah, they'd like, you know, they'd come flying down, like it was like a cavalry charge, and I'll just go whatever and just stand there, You know, I prepared to get like murdered, but as I said, they just run after the ones that ran. That I think that was more the thing. The ones that run, they knew they had. If you stood there and just like as if you was waiting for it, they kind of avoided you. You was like invisible to them. So, but then I actually got I say a reprieve. Like I got a pass because there was this kid. Now, I was in the 5th year at the time, I think. The 4th year. No, the 5th year. I was in the 5th year. And like around where I lived, there was lots of kids were like a couple of years younger than me. So there was like several kids around my area that are all in the 3rd year, sort of thing. But there was this one kid. Funny enough, his name was Lee as well. But he was obnoxious, right? He was tall as well. So although like I'm 2 years older technically, 2 school years. Yeah, I'm in 5th, he's in 3rd. He was sort of similar height to us because that was a lot of things. Like it was really weird. Like the 4th year in that, the kids seemed bigger than others, sort of thing. Like whereas when we was in the 3rd year, we was smaller than the 5th year. But when we got to the 5th year, well, I can say that there wasn't actually a 5th year, but you know what I mean. Like genetically, the year below us, a lot of the kids there were actually taller than they were like our height, sort of thing, and so on and so forth. So anyway, short story long, he was obnoxious. He was so obnoxious. His family didn't like him. Right, no word of a lie. His sister, such an arsehole. He was an Erebus, there you go. But he was like, he was a grade A prick, sort of thing. He wasn't spiteful or anything like that. He was just a dick, just a complete, fucking drive you mad, sort of thing. Obnoxious fucker, Thought he was like large and all that sort of shit. But he was in my mate's class, and we was walking back home one day, and he was being his usual obnoxious self, sort of thing. And I just had enough of him, sort of thing, like being like that. And he started the old your mum and all that sort of stuff. And that was it. That was like, no, I'm not having this no more. So I've gone over and I've pushed him. And we lived we was walking through this park, and it was like a hilly country park type thing, back because our house is backed onto it. So I've pushed him. He's fallen over, got a bit dirty. Now, I said he pissed me off because he was dissing my mum, So I've reacted. I've pushed him. He's gotten up. He's like sort of thing, and he's found these rocks from somewhere. So he had these like rocks in his hand. And he's standing there like that with his 2 rocks in his hand. And I've just gone, that's pissed me off even more. And I just went, you better fucking use them, sort of thing. Use those rocks, sort of thing. And I've started walking towards him. And he's dropped the rocks. And I've just grabbed him, headlock, and I've just gone bang, like that, right in the face. And just threw him to the ground again. And like that. And he's gone running off with like Gareth. He's gone, you and all that sort of stuff. And my mate Gareth, his mum has come out. Oh, why don't you pick on somebody else? Like, and I got on well with him. Like, again, it's me. But this situation, she's come out. Oh, why don't you pick on somebody your own size, sort of thing like that. And I'm like, he is my own size. So anyway, I've punched him. So it goes on. Next day, well, actually about 2 days later, like because he's got this black eye, and I'm getting these people like going, "Did you hit Lee?" For legal reasons, I'm not mentioning surname. So, did you hit Lee? I said, "Yeah." He was just being like again. I wasn't going to back down. I said, "Yeah, I hit Lee." Like, and these guys coming up to me were the guilty gang dudes. So I weren't sure if there was some sort of like intermingling or that, because like if you're asking that sort of question, It's normally like you've got an interest in it. But this, they've come up to me again. Yeah, did you eat it, Lee? I went, yeah, I did. It was it was out of order, sort of thing. And they were like, well done, sort of thing, like patting me on the back and all that. I'm like, okay, that's new. And like, oh yeah, he's a fucking arsehole, sort of thing like that. So I thought that's weird. Now I was in a lesson, and one of the lessons I used to take child development. I was the only boy in my year to take child development. And strangely enough, I only had one boy say, oh, you're doing child development. And I went, have you seen the girls in my class? and that was it. I never got any ag over doing child development, because somebody else said, like, what are you doing that for? I said, well, I want to work with kids. I want to do, maybe go into teaching or, childcare or something like that. That's, and they went, all right. And they accepted it. And I was the first boy in my year. There was no one else before me had done it, and I did it. And afterwards, more boys did it, so that's a good thing. But Lee's sister was in my class. Now, obviously, she's heard that this Lee kid, moi, had punched her brother, and there was several Lees in our year. And she went, did you hit my brother? And I thought, oh, here we go. I went, yeah. And I said, like, he was a bit insulting my mum. I've pushed him, and then he's come at me with 2 rocks. So I've grabbed him and I've hit him, sort of thing. And she went, oh yeah, he deserves it. He's such an arsehole. And I went, okay, this is even better news, So I got, a blessing from his sister. And she was the one who told me that, yeah, even our mum and dad don't like him. that's your brother, but it's understandable because he was that irritating. And then, as I say, I've got all this thing from the Guilty Gang guys, like respect. You handled him. He's a dick, sort of thing. Even we, like, everybody thought he was obnoxious. There was no, I don't know how my mate was friends with him, but they were. And then a day after that, one of my other friends in my year had a run-in with him, but in school. And he's gone to the head of year with my mate, and the head of year's gone, did he give you that? And Lee's gone, no, it was someone else. And he went, well, who was it? And so I got named and basically asked to go to see the head of year. But Lee was coming up to me. So this is the guy I punched like 2 or 3 days earlier, giving him the black eye. He's come up to me and he's going, yeah, don't worry, mate. You've got to go see, but I've told him that it was my fault and I deserved it. I went, okay. Listen, so even though we had this rough dust up, you're defending me and taking the blame for it, for starting it, as I'm being called in for another situation that you've started with somebody else, right? And so I saw the head of year, and again, because of, like, I was a good kid in school, I didn't get into trouble, or wasn't cool getting into trouble, but I weren't an arsehole or anything. I was a good kid. Plus, my mum actually was a cleaning lady there, so all the teachers knew her, and they also knew me because I'd wait, and they'd go, "What are you doing in school?" So I'm waiting for mum, and then they would, "Your Gwenda's boy." I went, "Yeah." Oh, right, okay. And so I knew all the teachers by their first names and stuff like that. So when I used to hang around, get a lift home and stuff. Anyway, so Mr. Bullocks pulled us in and said, like, you hit him. And I said, yeah, it was off school grounds at the time. We was walking home. We got into an argument. I've pushed him. He's come back at me. He's come towards me with some rocks, and I've defended myself. Okay. So, well, you should know better. You're older, sort of thing. You know, that's bad. But this has nothing to do. Like, obviously, what's happened here with him and Stephen, it's nothing to do with you. But I want you to, you know, reflect about your actions and, you know, that. So a little bit of a telling off, but you couldn't really do anything because it was outside of school, sort of thing. So, and I said, and Lee wasn't pressing charges. So I got away with it. But as I said, I got so much like cred from that. And I said it was the only person, like, as I say, it was the only person I punched during, like, in anger, I'd say. In defence is one thing, because you always fight back, but actually gone out and actually hit somebody, he was the only one. But it made my life quite easy, a lot easier after that. Oh, hello. You have no idea how confused and intrigued I am by joining middle of story time. Well, thank you for coming in, Marcus. Yeah, so this was reflecting on my my rap sheet from school. I joined at the best time, yeah. So yeah, so hello Ben as well. Sorry for this. I saw you. I just saw you sneaking in there, but I was in mid flow. So yeah, so basically this super obnoxious person at school got into a tussle with him. I've punched him, and I've out of that I've gotten a lot of sort of like street cred from like the bully boys and all that sort of stuff. His older sister, who was in my year, and yeah, it made things better for me, and I got away with it from getting, and I got, you know, not really it was a telling of, like, I was talked to about my behaviour, even off school premises, but totally got away with it. Also got away, well, one of my friends used to bring in, Rodney. He used to bring in this Jamaican white rum, because he was from, like, his family's from Jamaica. He was born in England, but his parents were Jamaicans. So obviously he's raiding the drinks cabinet, and basically brought in this, and we're drinking this Jamaican white rum at lunchtime, and then we're going into our history lessons in the afternoon, and the deputy head is our teacher. But that's not even the worst bit. The worst part, well, I say the worst bit, it wasn't even me, but one of the other kids in it at another occasion had taken some drugs during lunchtime. I don't know if it was like, and it wasn't a smoky type. It was like a sniffy or something like that. He was off his tits in class, and the teacher didn't like. It's like, what was wrong with him? And he was just like, just trying to keep quiet. And but you look at him and you go, he's not right. But that was school. This, however, is Titans. Our Titans. Some of the best things in the world. So, still doing more. So, before we started earlier on, I was saying, for those that have joined later, I didn't want to go with a hazard stripe. I normally do go with hazard stripes on the cages for melter guns, but because there's a lot of yellow anyway, I thought it would detract from the whole. So I just went for that sort of well-cooked form of look for it. I need to do some more stippling. So I've been doing like a reverse stippling. So what that is where I start off with the base colour and then stipple over that with a lighter grey to very subtle stipple. I may have gone a little bit OTT with the lighter grey. So I'm now stippling the darker grey to give a bit more mottling to it, because it definitely needs a little bit more mottledness there. Love me some Titans, however my bank account might disagree. Well, the small ones are pretty reasonable, to be fair, especially if you get the Battle Forces kits. I'm not sure if they were bringing one out. I'm not sure if they actually released one yet. That might be something later. this year, because they've already mentioned it bringing it out, so it's just when it turns up. So what is that? So this is called the Spong Bro Basic. This is something that a certain influencer person of interest was trying to do on his Patreon, which was basically selling for about 30 quid, I think it was. Oh yeah, Thingy Kong. Yeah, I don't like mentioning him just in case he appears. Ben, what are you working on? Glass. Still got that drop top dreadnought at the moment, though I'm now come to a pause. So what you need in your life is small titans. The world is a much better place for small titans. Yeah, I know, but I have to keep on reminding people that titans exist. They're out there, waiting for your loving caress, and they give you love back. They're beautiful things. some more. More of this agract mix down here. Where's that lead belcher gone? Yeah. Yeah, I want to get started on my battle tech at some point. But I'm still faffing about with what I'm going to do with it. As in, like, am I going to make it into a proper third faction type thing in my collection? Or am I going to just use the things to supplement the other two factions with my Curator and Ghost Bears? Oh, Ben, you beautiful bastard. Navid. More Ghost Bears. Right. And this video will be a voraciously murk and razzle hug so I can campaign with for my buddies. Well, that's what I was going to do in mine, wasn't I? So I've got my Ghost Bears, maybe adding a few extras to them, or let's say the razzle hug was the other thing I was thinking. Razzle hug Dominion. So yes, think great minds. And nobody could stand against us, Ben. How's the mood music for this evening? Is that appropriately awesome, or there seems to be such a lack of decent like mood music recently? I was looking at the camo spec pages of official Ghost Bear schemes, but none of them really appealed. So I'm going to make a Ghost Bear genre scheme with appropriate colours instead. Well, we know that they mix up colours and stuff. You know, there's that quite bluey ones. There's the grey ones. There's even camo style ones as well. They're not scared to add a bit of colour or camouflage to their things, as long as you've got you know, that Ghost Bear sort of main coloration that's symbolised somewhere, you can get away with a lot, I feel. Yeah, and in the universe, mostly the machines get painted in appropriate camo. I just like a good probation. No, that's fair. That's all cool. There's nothing wrong with that. They look awesome. Where's my... So, like that little fella there. Right, hold on a sec. I'll zoom in. There you go. I may have cheated. But yeah, it's I'm trying to think. I think this was like I think it was like Administratum Grey, and then I think it's Fenris Grey is what I'd done, the sort of speckle camouflage type effect. So you had that bluish tinge to it. That one, because I can't remember what fucking paints I used. Then I've done a little freehand symbol there, so it's not great, but at a distance it looks fantastic. And some little hints of colour here. Now I can't be bothered putting them over here somewhere. They can be watching. Oh, that sounds nice actually. Thinking maybe some sort of black to royal blue fade plus some white flecks for snow. Yeah, yeah, I like that. That sounds cool. Will you go like dark from the bottom, light to the top, or the other way? I would go dark to light that way too, because obviously skylines and all that sort of stuff. If you're looking at, like, you know, tundra, distance, a few rocky crags, you know, that sort of shit. Blue feet. Yeah. Oh, blue at the bottom and then black at the top. All right. I get you. Right. Okay, I'm going to quickly, he says, give this a little spray outside. So please, like, have a little chat amongst yourselves. I'll be 30 seconds, if that. Okay, it's quicker. Although I'm going to get the hairdryer out. Post sunset on tundra vibes. It sounds awesome. But you do get some really nice, like I still like the digital camo stuff as well that I've seen. Well, it's finding those right tones, isn't it? Really, that obviously work and complement. But now having a fade, that's going to be quite interesting. I'm going to put these out of the way. Be distracted even. I still regret not getting more than one asp. Blood asp. Oh, I wish I'd got 2 blood asps. I definitely didn't do those small fucking little hover car things. They're fucking pointless. I'm not sure if I can have the patience to freehand a camo scheme like that again after doing splinter camo on my tout. Yeah, I can understand that. Sometimes these schemes just break us. I have some nibbles, so I'm going to try some chocolate that has come from Bruges. So the old chocolate house. No. So it says the old chocolate house, Bruges. So simple, chocolatey. Sorry. No galaxy, but thinking that for that. Thinking that little tip for that. I might give these little bits on the banners a go as well. I'll do one of these on a leg down there, and maybe one of the eagle ones on that side, just for shits and giggles. Right, where's my scalpel? Now I'm having doubts. Maybe I'll just keep it traditional with that. Yeah. Okay, I'm doing that. So that on there, I can put my little things at the bottom there. Actually, we better have that side, wouldn't it? Oh yeah, that's that piece. I think I'm hobbied out for the day. Left a whip in Chris's Discord under the Overlord's whip channel if you want to see my take on the handsomeness. Erebus is not handsome. Got to go back to your end. So, no worries, buddies. Thank you for dropping in. Thank you for keeping us company. I'll catch up with you both later, and I'll check out the whip in the Chris Frozen Discord in a smidge or two. Right. Gonna head off. Good night. You too, buddy. Thanks for dropping in. And I'll catch up with you again on other channels, no doubt. Hmm. Ba, ba, da, ba, ba. Right. good. Right. Well, I think that's probably where I'm going to end off for tonight, because these take ages. So I'll say thank you very much for coming to hang out whilst we worked on this bad boy. I'm sure I'll get some pictures up on very shortly, obviously, that you can actually see, because I can't. I've been fiddling about with this camera for ages, just trying to get it to actually focus and be in view, and it never bloody works. So until then, we will struggle as we do. But yes, next Wednesday, again back with the Warcradle, and then Saturday I should be back with some more, well, whatever I decide I'm doing that's not Warcradle. So thank you very much. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the weekend, whatever you may be doing. And I hope your hopefully goes well. And I look forward to seeing you again on Wednesday. So until then, happy hobbying, everyone. Peace out. Love you all. Take care. Bye.